Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Yellowstone. All of Beth Dutton's scars, explained. When Beth isn't attacking with her fists, she's using her shark-like business acumen to take down her enemies, and she amassed a great deal of them throughout Yellowstone's run. However, her most contentious relationship by far is with her adopted brother, Jamie, Wes Bentley. Beth and Jamie's rivalry goes back years, starting from when Jamie had Beth sterilized as a teenager, and Beth never lets Jamie forget he isn't really part of the family. In fact, Jamie's biological family is the reason why the Duttons almost don't make it out of Season 3 alive, and why Beth got her scars. Though Beth Dutton was born into a world of immense privilege, she's certainly blood for her family's Yellowstone ranch. One of the most disturbing scenes in Yellowstone history occurs in Season 2, Episode 7, Resurrection Day. Dutton family enemy Malcolm Beck, Neil McDonough, sends his men to rape and kill Beth. Though they don't succeed, they give her a brutal beating which leaves her heavily bruised throughout most of Season 3. However, this isn't where Beth got her scars. It wouldn't be Yellowstone if the Duttons didn't end a season a little worse for wear. And the Season 3 finale, The World is Purple, sees Jamie's biological father, Garrett Randall, Will Patton, orchestrate the most dangerous attack on the Duttons yet. Imprisoned for the murder of his wife, Garrett carried a hatred of John Dutton for years for not defending him in court. With Jamie alienated from the family, Garrett decides it's the perfect time to order hits on John, Kate's, Luke Grimes, and Beth. The hit on Beth is a planted bomb in her Bosman office, which detonates in the finale. The Yellowstone Season 4 premiere, Half the Money, reveals that Beth miraculously survives the bombing, as she stumbles into the streets with singed clothes, completely covered in burns. The premiere flashes forward, and though Beth has made a full recovery, the bombing left her heavily scared. Her entire back is covered in scars, and she also has a prominent scar running down her right cheek, as well as a fainter scar under her left eye. The explosive ending of Yellowstone also saw Beth acquiring some new scars. The whole series had been leading up to an epic confrontation between her and Jamie, with Beth promising that she would be the last thing he saw when he died. Following John's funeral, Beth attacks Jamie in his home, spraying pepper spray into his eyes and repeatedly beating him with a crowbar. Jamie is able to get the upper hand and beats Beth to a bloody pulp, almost killing her, before Rip bursts in and incapacitates him, giving Beth her long-awaited opportunity to plunge a knife into her brother's chest. And while she won the war, it wasn't without battle scars. The show's final scene sees Beth sporting new scars, another scar on her right cheek that crisscrosses with the one from the bombing, a more prominent scar under her left eye, and a smaller one on top of it. Beth Dutton is a beautiful woman who wields her good looks as a weapon, and while many would attempt to cover their scars, Beth wears her like a badge of honor. She is a proud Dutton and will always defend and stand by her family, even when her last name has almost gotten her killed more than once. Whereas some characters, like Jamie, head for the hills at the first sign of trouble, Beth is more than willing to go down with her family's ship. Anyone who questions that need look no further than her scars. The talented Yellowstone makeup artist, Abigail Steele, certainly had her work cut out for her with this series, which sees the characters amass all sorts of scrapes, burns, bruises, and scars. She does an expert job, particularly on Beth's iconic scars. And while Beth is most recognizable for the large scar on her right cheek, Steele's favorite of the scars is actually the subtle one under Beth's left eye. Steele said in a behind-the-scenes Yellowstone featurette, "It's worth noting that while Beth makes no attempts at hiding her scars, she rarely talks about them, save for one heated argument with her father." Of Beth's scars, actress Kelly Reilly said, "Beth may love her family more than life itself, but being a Dutton has sure caused Beth a lot of emotional scars, which run much deeper than those of her body. First, Beth had a very complicated relationship with her mother, Evelyn Gretchen Mull, whose passing traumatized the teenage Beth even deeper as she blamed herself for Evelyn's death. Her ugly history with Jamie has also scared Beth emotionally, as she has never fully been able to get over that she can't have kids with her husband, Rip Kohlhauser, because her brother stole her fertility. Then there's the damage caused by the patriarch himself, John Dutton. Though John loved his daughter the most of his children, this is what caused Beth's blind loyalty. Not only did John's stubbornness and hanging onto his precious ranch cost his children a lot of money, but it also almost cost them their lives. Beyond Beth's scars from the bombing, she realizes that she has an unhealthy tether to the Yellowstone ranch because of her love for her father. She frequently compared it to a prison and would only do what her father said, despite knowing that his orders went against the ranch's best interest. With John dying in the latter half of Yellowstone Season 5, Beth now has the emotional scar of his passing added to her trauma. However, there is hope for the headstrong Beth Dutton. In the Yellowstone series finale, Beth and Rip leave the Yellowstone behind and open a new ranch in Dillon, Montana. This is the first opportunity for a fresh start in Beth's entire life. And if anything is likely to heal those emotional scars, it's this. Fortunately for Beth fans, they will get to watch her journey continue, as a Beth and Rip Yellowstone spin-off was announced mere days before the series finale. Hopefully, she finds some healing in between throwing punches. In Taylor Sheridan's critically acclaimed series Yellowstone, Beth Dutton stands as one of the most complex and intriguing characters. Portrayed with ferocious intensity by Kelly Reilly, Beth is the epitome of resilience and raw emotion. Her scars, both physical and emotional, are key to understanding her multifaceted persona. Each scar tells a story of pain, survival, and her unrelenting determination to protect her family and their sprawling Montana ranch. Let's explore the origins and meanings of Beth Dutton's scars. The emotional scars of youth. Beth Dutton's story is heavily shaped by the emotional traumas she endured as a child. Growing up as the daughter of the powerful and often unyielding John Dutton, Beth was raised under immense pressure to be strong. The expectations placed on her as the only daughter in a family of sons were immense, and her mother's sudden death in a horse-riding accident added layers of guilt and grief. Beth's relationship with her mother, Evelyn, was fraught with tension. Evelyn's harsh demeanor and critical attitude left young Beth feeling inadequate. The pivotal moment that solidified Beth's emotional scars was the day of Evelyn's death. As Beth struggled to control her horse during a ride, Evelyn fell and was fatally injured. Her last words to Beth were cold and accusatory, placing the blame squarely on the young girl. This moment not only instilled a lifelong sense of guilt, but also set the stage for Beth's hardened personality. The betrayal of trust. One of Beth's most significant emotional wounds stems from her teenage years. Desperate and scared, after discovering she was pregnant, Beth turned to her brother Jamie for help. Unbeknownst to her, Jamie's solution was to take her to a clinic on the nearby Broken Rock Reservation. There, she underwent a procedure that left her infertile, a decision Jamie made without her consent. The betrayal cut deeper than any physical wound could. Beth's inability to have children became a haunting shadow over her relationship with Rip Wheeler, the love of her life. Despite Rip's unconditional love, Beth's deep-seated guilt and anger over Jamie's betrayal have shaped her interactions with both men and the world around her. Her infertility symbolizes a loss of agency and trust, fueling her quest for control in every other aspect of her life. The physical scars. Beth's body is a testament to her tumultuous life. One of her most visible scars is a burn that spans across her back and shoulders, a grim reminder of a vicious attack orchestrated by the Beck brothers in Season 2. The Becks, a pair of ruthless antagonists, sought to dismantle the Dutton family's grip on Montana's land and power. In a brutal act of retaliation, They sent their men to bomb Beth's office.